Your Tips, Daggy Beaver with you. Double duty today. We're going to have a look through Canterbury and Moonee Valley in this show and find a few winners on a Friday night. And then we'll be back to look through the two big cards of racing from Roundwick and Flemington tomorrow. What's going on, Beaver?
Normal stuff, mate. Leading up to Christmas, just doing all the festive things and preparing for Christmas and trying to close down the standard work activities and a bit of punting in between.
Beautiful. Good weather for it. Plenty of racing on. So
good weather.
That's been fantastic. A little bit of rain last night in Sydney, but nothing that'll affect the track. We've got a good 4 at Canterbury. Rail is in at the 5 metre mark, I believe. Where's my notes gone? 6 metre mark. There we go. And we're kicking off with a 1,550 metre maiden. What are your thoughts in the first here?
Yeah, not too serious affair here, but I've gone for number 10, Super Chilled from the Waller stable with McDonald aboard. I thought last start was a pretty good run. I think the extra distance will suit, and I think it's be hitting the line the hardest and can get us off to a good start.
I'm giving Maritima one more chance against my better judgment. It was sent out even money last time here. Had to trial again since because it didn't do anything, and then trialled well. Absolute last chance here, but a tricky maiden to start the day. Race 2, the other Waller with J-Mac going on obviously has to be respected as probably the top pick, but yeah, they're the two here. 1,100 metre maiden is race 2, knocked about by scratchings. What have we got left? I liked the trials of the Waterhouse runner here, Urban Jewel, straight to the front, and gave nothing else a chance in that trial. Typical for the stable. The stablemates came out, so now I think it gets the sole lead, and I'm just completely had enough of Charlatan. So on top for me, number 8, Urban Jewel. I thought the quiet trials of Cardone from Team Hawks were pretty good, so might be the danger there in the small field. Anything for you?
Look, Urban Jewel has tried well, but I've gone for Charlatan. I just think it might be a little bit better than these. Has had a run in a group company, and last second in Newcastle Maiden wasn't too bad. Can run well fresh here and tried okay.
Yeah, just left me sour after that race, I think. The third is another maiden over the 1250 this time, where Morel comes out, which left me with. What did it leave me with? Lutine Belle on top at a big price, actually. I like the trials. $17. Have to have a little spec at it on debut. Inside gate should roll forward and take the lead. I think it's over the odds. From Ahoy, who will roll forward and be on pace with Tim Clark, gets all the usual favours potentially on a leader's track. What do you like here?
Yeah, I've gone for the untested Demiana from the Waller stable. Thought its trials were okay. Won a trial at Canterbury 2 back in good style, and also prior to that at Rosehill. So I think it can run well at its first start.
The fourth is 1550 benchmark 72. We saw a lot of these in action last week at the track. I'm going to stick with the winner from that race, though. Chenin, who jumped straight to the front last time and gave nothing else a chance. Canterbury should suit. Josh Parr on a lead as a tick, and I think runs well again here. Kuklara was heavily backed in that race, but perhaps disappointing, but sticking with another leader at Canterbury. Yourself?
Yeah, I was going to go the same way with Chenin. I thought the same as you. Nice win last start. Jumped to the front. Inside gate here, probably gets control again. Main danger, African Daisy.
Race 5, another benchmark 72, 1,200 metres. Maybe a resumption of a nice horse here, Beaver?
Yeah, it looks that way. Rockribbed here looks, with the scratching now of Vowmaster to run on Saturday. I think Rockribbed, this looks set up for it perfect and clear on top for me.
Agree. Not much to add there. Vowmaster, I'm guessing, is coming to Randwick tomorrow, for better or worse. Race 6 is a 1550. Are we sounding the alarm?
I think we have to. I think this sets up pretty good for Akasawa. Won well first up, and I don't think it was disgraced last start at Rosehill. In that race, sort of finished off okay, was in the market. I think it'll be further improved now, third up sometimes, and the the second up run can be a bit of a flat one after a nice win. Gets a 2 kilo claim here and on top for me.
Agree. Not much more to add there as well. I've found it, and when I'm finding those colours, it must be half a chance. The 7th is the staying race on the card, benchmark 72 over the 1900 metres, where I'm going to stick with Rosovo. I thought that was a pretty good run in town last time. Perhaps maybe even slightly peaked first time at 1800 metres, but now it's had that running. That's another tick, and this is a big drop in grade from that race. I think it runs well around the $4 mark. From Travelling Kate, who's going to, again, be up on pace and probably needs to put one of these away.
Yeah, I agree. I think Rosovo is pretty good value. Ultra consistent this time in. All have been good runs. Will continue to improve and gets a chance here.
And we wrap up with a 1200 metre benchmark 64. We've lost half the field to scratchings, but is anything left you want to back?
I think the favourite, again, the McDonald ridden Jewellery from the Cummings stable. I think it's going to be hardest to beat. Again, won well last start, resuming, and prior preparation was in group company. This is a clear on top pick for me.
Agree, not much more to add. Looks a good little betting card at Canterbury, actually.
Yeah, I think the last 4 races, I know we've tipped the favourites and that's easy to do, but I think you won't be far from the money there.
Have you got something you really want to stamp?
Yeah, I'm going to stamp the one in the last. Race 8, number 6 Jewellery is my best bet. And I think, I don't think there is a lot of value on the card looking at it, but I think, although it's favourite, I think Rosovo about $4 is actually really good value.
I'm gonna make Rockribbed my best for the sake of a best here. I think it's a nice horse and came to Sydney at the right time. And whatever I tipped at around $17, give me my value. Lutine Belle, race 3, number 4 on a tricky card to really find anything outside the market. But good betting card. Moonee Valley. We've got the rail in the 5 metre mark on a soft track. Kicking off with 1,000 metres for the babies. Anything got your eye here?
Nothing's got my eye here, mate. It's all a little bit too hard for me, so I'll let this one go through to the keeper.
That's fine. I think Blue Colours is the one to beat. Blake Shin going on abstracted off some nice Sydney trials. We've seen that hold up pretty well this season to date, and I think runs well here on debut, as the market suggests. Race 2, another maiden over the 1,200 metres, where I'm convinced Mugen is a good horse. Some nice trials, maybe a little bit underwhelming on debut, but was off the rails at Sandown, so gets another chance here, drawn to roll forward again, and I think this is a winnable race for it. From Read My Lips, who's shown some nice pace in the jump outs and is the other horse to beat.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it might have a little bit of ability, this horse, and I think 6 to 4 is not a bad price.
The third is a 3,000 metre benchmark 78. Look, Mr. French gets control here as run, looking for 3 straight, going okay with a claim on the lead. Do I really want to bet up in these sort of races? No, but I've got it on top for the sake of a tip. Anything caught your eye?
About the same, for the sake of a tip. I've gone Mr. French as well, second favourite here. I think its form's been pretty good of late. Gets a 2 kilo claim, so gets in nicely at the weight. And, potentially the best horse in the race.
Race 4, 40 metre class 1. What do you like?
Yeah, look, gone for so unusual here. Third up, I think, presents very well for this. Has had some natural improvement these 2 runs. Rick's Cafe, it was a lovely second behind it. I kind of went looking for something to beat it and, couldn't find anything. It comes here after some good form over in New Zealand. Lot to like about this horse. Nice bet.
Yep, agree. I like that Rick's Cafe form. I like third up. I like it's going to have a nice cosy run there. So all ticks for me as well. Race 5, 1,600 metre benchmark 64. Does Rhinoceros finally return to some form here, or have you gone somewhere else?
I've gone somewhere else. I just went looking for a bit of value here, and I've come up with the top weight, Master Bartoli. Some of its runs in, it's pretty hard to catch this horse, but it's only had the 14 career starts, and it's been placed in 8 of them. Two starts back was in town and failed there, but prior to that, won nicely in a decent race at Bendigo, jumped on speed. It'll take up some running here, and from the inside gate, maybe it can just hold on. So in a pretty weak race, I've gone for it.
Yeah, I like the turn of foot of Regal Asmond, but I'm not that keen to be involved in this race at all. So we'll move on to the 1,000 metre benchmark 70. Anything for us here?
I've just gone for the top weight deep speed here. Don't mind the price, around $6. This is a pretty open affair, and it's ran some nice races in pretty decent company. Goes well first up. They brought it here from Adelaide to run at Moonee Valley. I think that's a good line to give you, a good lead. Looking for the word there. So yeah, it can run well, and thought around the $6-7 mark. Good value.
I'm always going to default to the lightly raced sort of horses here, which is why I've got Panache on top for Jamie Carr, but maybe even a bit short in this field. I think that price is off potential more than anything, but it's here. It'll run okay. Race 7, the 955 benchmark 64. I've had no luck betting in these races for a long time, and I'm probably going to watch this one as well. Is there anything you like?
Yeah, I've gone for Mur with Blake Shinnerboard. I think he can run well. Had some really consistent runs before finally breaking through last start. Won fairly comfortably when well backed. This is a slight step up in grade, but I think it's going well enough to speed out, speed across, and be hardest to catch.
And the last is the benchmark. Oh, it's 1,000 metre class 1, which I just realised I haven't even looked at. So did you find anything here?
Yeah, again, just looking for a little bit outside the market here. I've gone for number 10, Syncretism from the McAvoy stable. Solid first up, then really good run. Stepped back in distance at Bendigo and won very nicely. Stays at that distance now. I think from the gate 2 can get a nice run and be hard to beat.
Lovely. Have you got a best at Moonee Valley?
I had 2 that I really liked. Race 2, number 2, Mugen, and race 4, number 1, So Unusual. So I think he can double up on those. I think they'll run well. And I thought my value bet come up in race 6, number 1, Deep Speed.
Beautiful. I'm just going to make the same 2 you said, actually, Mugen and So Unusual. I think they're the 2 best bets on this card, which I will leave there. Anything else on a Friday around Australia, or should we jump into Saturday?
I did have one bet that I liked up in the Sunshine Coast, and that was race 7, number 8, Yes to Excess. So that was my best bet up there.
Lovely. This has been Show Us Your Tips. Quick look at Friday night racing. Stay tuned because the Saturday preview will be up very soon by the time you're watching this. Subscribe to Spotify, socials, all that sort of stuff, and check out progretracing.com.au for more. Talk soon, guys.